Peace. What's going on, everybody? I know it's different. It's weird. And it's just me by myself tonight. So thank you for joining me. Keeping It Shrimple, episode 38. And let's have some fun. I want to say hello to everybody. Let's see. Good evening, Frank. Hello, Bunny. Nano Aquarium Guy, Frank Pasanta. I already said that. Scotty, the Fish Freak. Jack in the Shrimp Tank. Everybody saying hi to everybody. That's cool. Big Dog 35. Gina Zarif. Hello. Be safe driving. Brookley Bell. Hello. Only Oscars. Hello, June. Hi, Dee Dee. Nicole Jones. Killer Kitty. Mark. Big Guppy. Howdy. Howdy, howdy, howdy. So, if you saw the thumbnail, yeah, empty. That room was empty. And we talked about it last week. It's been 2 weeks now since I emptied out that fish room. And everything's up at awesome, Killer Kitty. Buried shrimp are awesome. But everything's up at the shop. And I got to be honest with you, it's hot. I know some areas are probably a little bit hotter than what we got, but it's been hot. So driving is rough. It's warm outside. So if the AC's not working, you're not having too much fun. But the fish room, that's where I'm going with it, is the fish room there at the shop is running a little bit warm. And that's okay, because that's kind of what we intended originally, was to have it warmer. It's running about 83-ish in the fish room. The tanks are running about 78-ish. So it's a little warm for the shrimp setup. But I think where they're located, they're on the cooler part of the building anyways, or the room. So they're doing really good. All of the shrimp are shrimplets everywhere. Don't forget, you can get all of the Neos through Jadron Aquatics. So in case that confuses some of you a little bit, the way it works is he's buying the shrimp from me and then selling them on his website. So it still is tremendous support when you're buying through him, because he's my main guy that I'm selling them through. The other shrimp, I only have a couple listed right now on Stock My Tank. Those are I believe I have the Fancy Red Tigers, the Fishbone, Galaxy Fishbone, which I'm probably going to take out of stock because y'all cleared me out of those pretty good. I still have a few, but I want to get the colony back up to where it was. And then the Orange Eye Extreme King Kongs. Those are the other ones that I have. Yeah, and I saw your question a little bit earlier, Big Dog. Do you have to change your water if your TDS go up by 10 or 15, like 120 and go up to 135? Not necessarily, but I'd start paying attention as to what is causing your TDS to go up higher. If it continues to go up by 15 or 20 every day, then you probably have a problem in there and you need to find out what it is. So generally, if you start getting something like that, just do a top off with straight RO, and that should get it back to where you want it at 120. Shooter's Range, Johnny, what's up? James Guy, what's up? Hello. Thanks for making it in. Daniel Velez, he's here also. And Jeff Kane, good to see you. Thanks for joining us. But yeah, normally something like that with your TDS, if it continues to go up and up, then there's something going on in your tank. That's the main thing that I use it for, is to try to find out if my TDS is going up or down for whatever reason. Try to find out what's going on. You might have a dead snail or two, maybe a dead shrimp hiding somewhere. It could be a number of things. Could be the temperature too, or stuff floating in the air, getting in your water, dissolving. Who knows? But you got just look, pay attention. It's not that big of a swing. Now, if it goes up like 30, 50, there's definitely something in there causing it to go up. Similar to your pH. When your pH swings that badly, there's something going on that's causing that type of a drastic swing. It take a week and a half to go up. Yeah, that's possible. I mean, you got to realize that when water evaporates, it doesn't evaporate the solids in the water, the dissolved solids. So your TDS, when you start creeping it up, like after a week and a half, if you're doing your water changes or doing consistent top offs, it should help keep it stable. And the main thing about TDS is when you're keeping your TDS lower like that, then you'll have less opportunity for drastic pH swings. That's the main reason for it, especially with the Caridina tanks. Does that cover it? Hope so. Let's see. Anybody else made it in here? So if anybody is wondering, I always say hi to Johnny when he makes it in, Shooter's Range. He's like my best friend, my guitar player, my brother from another mother. And he lives like right next door. So yeah, we have quite a bit of history. Over 30 some odd years that we've been in a band. It's kind of cool. It's kind of cool. Todd shows up every once in a while. He comes in here. It's Todd Hill is his channel name. And he pops up in here every once in a while. I wonder if he's out there. Todd, are you out there? Hello. Let's try something. I haven't done this yet today.
I love shrimp. Who else loves shrimp? I love shrimp. Who else loves shrimp?
That's funny because I had it on mute, so I didn't hear it. Did y'all hear it? Hey, what's going on, Eduardo? Hey, man, doing the best we can, you know. Aw, look, Johnny. Hello, Sandy O, KO 4000. That's interesting. Interesting name. So everything came out good. Okay, good. Thank you. It's kind of strange because I'm in a new setup. Well, temporary, just like the other one was. I heard somebody say, I love shrimp, yada, yada, yada. Yep, that's right. I'm not gonna fall for it, Eduardo. You can try harder. What TDS do you keep your Caridina? It depends on the ones that I have. Like my orange-eyed tigers, they'll usually be anywhere from 180 to 220. I try to keep it on the lower side, but I don't mind it. They don't mind it as much. The PRLs, PBLs, any of the crystal shrimp, I keep them normally at around 160. And then my blue bowls and everything else is 120. Some of them even a little bit lower. I try to stay above 100 because I think with the lower TDS, it seems to be a little bit harder for them to molt properly. I haven't seen any problems, but when I do a water change or I top off without remineralizing, that's when my TDS will drop lower than 100 sometimes. So I try to keep it. You got to remember to use remineralized water when you're doing your top offs. That'll help keep everything stable as much as possible. Hey, what's going on, Matt? I love shrimp. Who else loves shrimp? Replacing brake lines on the rusty old van. I hear you. Ugh, that's got to be a pain in the butt. Hopefully it's not 100 some odd degrees out there. KO 4000 is my ham radio call sign. Awesome. What do you call baby shrimp? Shrimpettes, shrimplet, shrimpies? Yep. Yes. Honestly, I think appropriate terminology would probably be shrimplets or shrimp fry. Shrimpies. It's kind of cool. I don't know, baby shrimps. I'm not the technical. Look, see, read it up there on top. It says wait, where's my finger? It says keeping it shrimple. So I don't know if there is a technical term. Oh, Dee Dee. Hypothetical question. If one puts too much Bacter AE in a tank, other than changing out the water, is there something else one can do? Asking for a friend. Oops. Take the shrimp out of that tank and put them in another tank. That's something else that you can do. And then do water changes, as much as possible without killing the cycle in the tank, or just let it reset itself and let it sit, let it clear out that stuff, let the bacteria, you'll probably get an algae bloom, who knows, but tell your friend, Dee Dee, it's probably best take them out of the tank and a little breeder box, hang on breeder box with the shrimp in it in a tank that is good with other similar type shrimp. That's a perfect way to go. And they can stay in there for as long as it takes for your other tank to get reset and then put them back home. Hey, Monster Fish Gal, how you doing, Lori? So what is a good TDS for shrimp? It depends on the shrimp. That's as honest as I can be. And I've done bukus of research and then listened to many of the shrimp keepers. And, I've talked to Lucas, I've talked to Grant Eater, I've talked to Rob Lupton, I've talked to Joe, talked to Eric, everybody. And it really depends on what works for you. The number one thing about your TDS is the lower TDS is going to help stabilize your pH so you don't have such high pH swings. So for Caridina with lower pH, low TDS, whatever that range of low is, it could be anywhere from 70 TDS to 130 is probably considered low TDS. Mid-range TDS, probably 130 to 180-ish. And then not really high, but anything up above 180 to about 275 is probably the high range. And then you're on extreme highs. And people have kept them in extreme highs. Oh, yeah. See how you are, Eduardo. Thanks, Papa. I'll tell my friend to start moving the damn things. Holy crap, I made it to my first live stream in 2 weeks. Hey, wow. Enjoy Daytona. Hope it's vacation. At least you're away from the heat over here. Oof. So when all the shrimp swimming around is that bad thing? No, actually, it's probably, look carefully in your tank and you'll probably find a molt, a fresh molt. And that molt came from a female, so all of the males are doing the happy dance. It's a good thing. She'll probably be buried soon. Let's see. Hey, Leah Jet, how you doing? Good to see you. Haven't seen you in a while. I'm just using tap water for my Neos. Seem to be yes, exactly. And when I've been asked before by people asking me, what do you do to your tank for Neos? I treat my aquarium the same way I would if I was putting in guppies, is basically my answer. it's the easiest way to tell you don't really have to worry about it as much. Just as long as there's no chlorine and no bad stuff, and we have plants and happy fish and happy tank, then the Neos will do fine. And they also do fine in lower pHs and lower TDSs. Not as well because they need those minerals to help them molt. They need different minerals and stuff like that than the Caridinas. That's why Caridinas have GH plus remineralizer and Neocaridinas have GH and KH plus remineralizer. So tap water for Neos, no problem. Make sure it's dechlorinated tap water though, or gas it off for a couple of days before you put it into your tank. And if anybody wondering what that means by gas it off, put it in a tub and let the chlorine naturally evaporate. Doing good. I've social media more, just trying to get poop done. Yep, I hear you. I've been real quiet lately as far as no videos. I haven't posted any videos. I've taken a lot of footage and trying to show some of the stuff that we have going on at Jadrin, as far as the plant setup that I've been working really hard on, trying to get them all cleaned up, get rid of the duckweeds, get the plants really flourishing so that we can propagate and get more out of the plants through propagation. The shrimp rack and all of the Neos that we have now and the Caridinas, and then plans to, I was talking to Jason the other day, even telling him that I want to add 2 more 5-tier shelves so I can put some smaller tanks and more of them. So that way I'm thinking like, at least 16 more tanks. Ooh, Jason, if you're watching, don't freak out. He's probably going, what? But it's the same problem that I had when I first started in this hobby. You get a tank and you put shrimp in it, and then they start breeding, and then it's like, okay, well, let me get another little tank so I can separate these babies because, hey, I want to get another tank going. And they're so cute. Well, when you're doing it at the shop in a, I guess, semi-commercial environment, and we're doing sales, I'm sitting there looking at the tanks, and even Jason said it to me. He was like, well, if they're all buried, don't we need tanks so that way we can list some of the shrimp as the homebred ones and some of your homebred ones that you've been working on? And I'm like, yes, and we need more tanks then. So 16, it may sound like a lot of tanks, but I'm thinking like either 2.5 or 5.5 gallon tanks, more nano type, so that way I can do more focus stuff, have the other tanks, the bigger 10-gallon tanks with, the colony, and then, separate more, because especially the way I am, especially about culling, is that, I have a beautiful tank of a mixture of the extreme blues and the blue bolts and blue steels. And it's an amazing looking tank, but I want to get all of the extreme blues in their own little tank so that way I can get it back to where it was a couple of months ago and have a solid line of extreme blues that when I go to pick them out and, ship them off to somebody, that I know I don't have to pick. Let me get the bluest ones. No, I want them to be the same thing. Very difficult to do. It's not as easy as it sounds. It takes a lot of work and time, but it's those things that I want to do. Same thing with the PRL tanks. In the PRL tank and PBL tank, there's some of them in there that I want to pull them out and have them breeding, because I think they're higher grade than a mixed grade, as we sell them. Everything's sold as a mixed grade. So don't get freaked out when you're asking all that stuff. So yeah, so I want to be able to have some of the more white and red or white and black PBLs or crystal shrimps. I want to get them in their own tanks. Same thing with the orange eye royals and the orange eye blue tigers. Everything's buried. Everything's, popping out little shrimpies or shrimplets or shrimp fry, whatever the technical term may be. So, yeah, well, we need more tanks. It was a lot different when I had all the tanks at my house, because that was my thinking was, no matter what we have going on at the shop, if we have any breeding projects, I had 30 plus tanks at home that we could play with. So now that I don't have it at home and everything's at the shop, it makes me want to expand and build more. But there's already so much that we have. So that's the other conundrum. There's 80 tanks in that fish room. Most all of them are 20 regular. And then we have 620 longs. And then, excuse me, those 620 longs are all plant tanks. And then we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 40 breeders that are all plants and assorted fish. Hey, what's going on, Grant? Garden of Eden in the house. Do you have to do a 90% water change when you do no planaria? Hey. I was just sorry. Got distracted. Squirrel. Yeah, Leah's got it right there. I do, like I said last week, when I run across a situation where I'm doing no planaria, depending on how much I dose and how bad it is, what freaks me out here's my thing. If I find a big planaria in there, that's when I dose it, even if I only see one, because I know that there's got to be more, so I will dose it lightly, like 1 scoop of no planaria. To me, that's lightly. Maybe a half a scoop. The next day, if I still see the planaria, I'll do another one. And then I'll wait, turn off the lights, and wait 24 hours to 48 hours, especially keeping an eye on the snails, if there's any snails in the tanks, because I want to make sure that if the snails are dying, they can also cause an ammonia spike. So after that, then I will do between 30 and 50% water change, depending on how much I dosed and how much maybe dead snails that I see. So it's still, I kind of go with the feel, if that makes any sense. But I do like to do some kind of water change after dosing with no planaria. And usually I can do it, if I do it the right way, then when I do my regular water changes, that's all incorporated with it. So it's not as big of an ordeal. You know what I mean? That's Scotty the fish tank. I'm not big on using chemicals unless I have to. What natural ways can I get rid of it? Fish eat them. Less light, less food. I think I have it in 1 tank. The no planaria is the most natural way you can do it. Honestly, it's just betel tree extract, betel nut. It's either betel nut tree or betel nut, some betel tree, something like that, if I'm not mistaken. So it's just, there's no chemicals in it other than the tree in powder form. So you can go with the fenbendazole method, but that will usually wipe out a lot more than you want. But I've had really good success with no planaria. It's shrimp safe. It's very shrimp safe. But I don't overdo it. Like hypothetically, let's say a friend poured half of a bottle of Bacter AE into a tank, and that kind of question popped up. That's never happened to me with no planaria, so I've never really had a big deal with it. The way I've used it works and gets rid of the planaria and the hydra, and sometimes kills the snails, sometimes doesn't. For a 10 or 20 gallon tank, whether the size of the tank, I'd say at least a 10% water change about once a week, sometimes twice a week. I mean, every 2 weeks, then it'll be about a 20%. Really depends on, how busy I am. I mean, that's really what it boils down to. And now that I'm at the shop, it's totally different. We're on an automatic water change system. The shrimp tanks are not. That is completely manual. So as a matter of fact, today when I went in, I did some water changes on the tanks that I just recently set up. That the shrimp are doing awesome. But I did about a 10% water change on those. And then I just did top offs on the other tanks. So I haven't pulled a whole lot of water out yet and put a lot back in to consider it a water change. But I am maintaining it, keeping it topped off. And then, of course, when I pull shrimp out and put them in a bag to ship them off, so water comes out of the tank. Hey, look, there's Science Gal Aquatics. Hi, Carrie. Do I have to submit a form for Aquashella? Probably do, huh? For the creators booth, the creators badge or whatever. Send me an email and let me know. Formaldehyde, for example, is natural. Hey, there you go. I'm not putting that in my tank, though. Does it work? Any way to get rid of it without buying something? No, because I think you'd have to buy something if you washed it all out and, bombed your tank and reset it and put fresh water in it. You'd probably have to put some chemicals like dechlorinators or something. Or maybe you just do it with salt. Let's see. Sketty Nana. What's up? Hello. Hey, Sketty Allen Tooth. How you doing, man? Any other questions that I missed? Or did I get to? Nope. Pretty good. Nope. You just told me what I needed to know. Okay, bye. No, just kidding. Hope you're sticking around a little bit. Yes, definitely. I'm going to be at Aquashella. And I don't know if you and Grant coordinate anything, since the shrimp contest is part of Aquashella, or if your part of it is just the creators booth or anything. But I was wondering if there was going to be anything like maybe the badges say something like that, like judge for the shrimp contest or whatever, besides just a creator badge. But that's, it don't matter anyways. I'll get a stupid sticky thing that says, hello, my name is Judge. I don't care. I have fun with it. Why? Because
I love shrimp. Who else loves shrimp? I love shrimp. Who else loves shrimp?
And trust me, this time at Aquashella, I'm going to make sure I get some fun stuff with the I Love Shrimp thing. Aw, we don't get special badges. I don't need no special badges. I was just saying, it'd be kind of cool. It'd be kind of cool to like just promote the events, whether it's the shrimp one or the flower horn one, and have a little bit of, materials, I guess, about it. So that way, even the people that are just walking through and are getting familiar with the whole entire aquashella thing and getting their minds exploded by how overwhelming it can be, then for them to have, oh look, there's a shrimp contest. What's that? And have a little bit besides just the booth, if that makes any sense. Let's see. Baby shrimp like water changes. They're fine with it. They can handle it a lot better than the adults. Maybe I can find out Tuesday. They want me to separate speakers from creators. First time for everything. Ooh. Yeah, but don't the speakers, I know what you're saying, because the featured speakers, yes, definitely separated from the other normal creators that don't speak. We don't talk. But yeah, that makes sense. I gotcha. You're more than welcome to be on the live stream for the shrimp if we can get the spot this time. Yeah, no doubt. Definitely. I mean, you know me, Grant. I'll do whatever. Whatever we can do, let's do it. Let's have some fun, especially while we're all together. I mean, I don't know. It's still very cool to be able to be at an event like that with creators, and in this case with other shrimp experts that I can learn from and sponge off of, and try to absorb stuff from. It's got to be leaking out your brains. You got so much information in there, so I want to absorb some of it, and it's a really cool thing to be around, like you and Joe and Eric and Rob and shrimp people. That's so anything I can do. Like I said, even if I can come up with ways, I've thought about it already, talking to Jeff from 712 Apparel, Texas Fish Room, seeing if maybe he could do us up a little special short run of something for peoples. That'd be kind of cool. But hey, I'm always coming up with ideas, trying to do things. They don't always fly, but I try. I rhymed. Hey, Mississippi hippie. Shrimp people, is that a new species? Yes. Why, yes, it is. L333 is bad for shrimp tank? I don't think so. I mean, okay, so I've been told, and I've heard all the horror stories. You just don't mix shrimp with fish. It could fit in their mouth, they're going to eat it. And I believe it. But I also believe that you can have shrimp and fish without an issue. Maybe there's an issue. Maybe the little shrimplets are getting eaten because they're too slow and they can't get away. But for the most part, baby shrimp are pretty quick on their toes and they can move pretty fast. So I imagine like tetras and cardinal tetras, rainbow fish, cotapunk, shellies, anything like that. Yeah, they're gonna eat a shrimp if they can grab it. But shrimp are pretty resilient. As far as L333 specifically, I couldn't tell you. I know that we have a tank at the shop. There's a couple of shrimp in it, and there's like 12 or so left of the L333s in it, and some guppies. So, to each his own. I love shrimp. Hello, Stephen P. Someone I know has a cherry shrimp colony with a whole host of fishes, but I assume initial numbers helped. Yes. And that's what I'm saying. I'm not going to say, yes, you can put these shrimp in with these fish. And then you do it, and then you blame me when the shrimp get all eaten up or your colony shrinks slowly over time. But I've also seen it the other way, and I've done it the other way myself, where I had just a colony tank where I had guppies and a mosh pit guppy thing going with loaches and with pseudodontus catfish, the dwarf ones, spotted catfish. There's pseudodontus something. Yeah, whatever, those things. But I had some of those, and they were like, "Oh no, you can't put shrimp in with those." There was hundreds of shrimp in there with all of those fish. So again, I'm not recommending you try it at home, but if you want to, hey, you deal with the consequences of your choices, right? Not me. Mm-mm. But for all my shrimp tanks, there are no fish. All my breeding tanks, there are no fish. Shrimper wannabe. Am I better off setting up a new tank specifically for shrimp or repurposing a recently cycled 10-gallon tank? If it's cycled, then I would just go with that and start your shrimp journey. Because then you don't have to worry about being stuck in a box of parameters that you have to do things a certain way because it's a species specific type setup, blah, 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 blah. Again, keep it shrimple. If you have a tank and it's cycled and maybe you have some guppies in it or something, sure, get you some Neos and have fun and get started with your shrimp hobby. You'll end up with more tanks, I promise you. And you'll end up setting up tanks with shrimp specific. So we'll cross that bridge when we get there, okay? Just being honest. It's how it happens. Ask Dee Dee. Oh my goodness, ask Dee Dee. She's like on a shrimp craze right now. She's got, I don't know how many species of shrimp she has now, probably like 12. And she started off with just getting a couple of little shrimpy, some cherries and some oranges, and fire reds, and then some PRLs and some extreme blue steels. And then she got some the fancy red tigers, and she got some fish bones, and did I say shadow pandas already? And PBLs. Oh, hi Gina, welcome. I'm glad you made it home. Made it home safe. Stephen P, I got a 5-gallon with just Blue Dreams. So those the Blue Dreams you got back in November? Man, dude, I'm so sorry. I'm going to have shrimp drop ship to you. So that way, no matter what, I doubt they'll get boiled because they get shipped by a different carrier. But, oh, man, dude, I'm so sorry. So everybody knows. I'm going to be totally transparent and honest with everybody. I did the shrimp auction, and everything went off without a hitch. Got all the shrimp. I haven't. Well, that reminds me. I held somebody's order, so I have to make sure that I get it to him this week. Well, it'll be next week now. But got all the orders shipped out and everything, and Stephen P sent me an email. Oh, I can give them to you at Aquashella. That's true. Good point. So I shipped the shrimp out thinking the way that I've been shipping, everything's been going good. It got to Stephen in Louisiana, down in the swamplands. They had to get on a boat. It was, 110 degrees in the swampy areas. They trenched their ways through alligators and made it to his home. And the shrimp bags were at 95 degrees. So I was like, I'll double insulate them this time and they'll be fine. Didn't work. So unfortunately, yes, I still owe you shrimp. And Aquashella, that's a really good idea. I'll give them to you at Aquashella when you're here. 2.5 gallons. How many shrimp can you have? Do you have to do more water change? Initially, yes. It's a little bit harder to stabilize the smaller tanks, but there's an asterisk, little asterisk by every statement that I make. I've had good luck getting the smaller tanks up and running pretty quickly. But that's because I use a lot of already cycled media, whether it's the sponges I take them from another tank, whether it's some substrate, admon that I take from another tank, the plants and the mosses. Those really seem to help. But I have had and experienced the smaller tanks where it is a way more high maintenance situation until it finally stabilizes and gets running. Once they're cycled and running right, they're like any other tank. They're easy peasy. You messaged me? My husband thought of that. I'm surprised he had such a great idea. So good plan. We will get them from you. All right. Sounds good. Hi, Mandy. Good to see you. Are you going to come to Aquashella, Mandy? Because I still have a shirt for you. Oh, I have 2 10-gallons and 1 5-gallon and 40-gallon plus 2 20-gallon tubs. Only 1 bed of plants and mystery snails. Wow. Well, then, yeah, don't worry about it. Start shrimping. And then the next thing you know, you're going to have a whole list of tanks with all kinds of stuff in it. Give Josh more credit. That's funny. No, but that's a really good idea. And there's going to be some cool stuff at Aquashella. Besides, getting to be a judge with the shrimp contest again. And like I said, I'm going to absorb as much information I can from all the big dogs in the shrimp industry. But again, it's really cool to meet some of the local breeders and people that I see maybe on Facebook or maybe here and there in some other streams, but I don't really have a relationship with. And I'd really like to get to know a lot of the breeders around DFW and North Texas area, hell, Texas in general, and just get to know everybody a lot more and see what we can do about the shrimp clubs, just local shrimp retailers, places to go to get shrimpy stuff, because it's far and few between. I still think there's a lot of stuff that is good for the shrimp hobby that we don't get to see at the big box stores, and not a whole lot at the local fish stores either. So hopefully we can, more of us that are involved in asking the stores or carry these products. And there's something that I've seen not too long ago that I'm very interested in trying out. And I'm not going to say what it is, but I'm really interested in trying it out and testing it out and doing some video content on it because it looks pretty interesting. And if it's good, and if it works, well, then I think that'd be a really good thing for a lot of beginner hobbyists to really be able to be more successful at starting a tank. But I'll let you know what it is. It's a secret. Shh. No idea if anyone knows, but will there be an Aquashella in the UK? I don't think so. Not yet. I know they're trying to do stuff international wise. I think that's, that's in the future. But right now it's still all make Aquashella as good as it can be. I think we'd see probably a West Coast event And then we have the four corners, basically East Coast, West Coast, North, South. I think that would be the most logical next step for Aquashella if they did expand that way. And then once that's covered, then maybe expand abroad. But then it all becomes, it's a totally different set of vendors that, I mean, look at what Joe just went through at whatever Zootech. What was that big thing he went to in Germany where they had 6 buildings or whatever, with each building was about the size of Aquashella? Yeah, that's crazy stuff. So who knows? Shrimping is addictive. Yes, it is. It is very addictive. It is very addictive. I'm living proof of it, but it's also, at least for me, I don't know about everybody else, but it's a lifestyle that I have just come to love, and it definitely a lifestyle completely. I don't think there's too many crazies. Well, there are a lot of crazies like me. We all just do it our own way, but I do it because I love shrimp. Woohoo! Sweet, back at you, sweet cheeks. It's taking all my willpower not to find all the fish stores in this state while I'm here, because I know my dad would never take care of a tank. Yeah, Interzoo. There you go, Frank. Interzoo. Yeah, and I was watching some of his videos of just him walking around and seeing all the different things. I mean, the manufacturers, the way they set up over there is just wow. Wow. Yeah. Pretty cool stuff, but I'm glad to see that at least we have something like Aquashella and all of the other events, because you got to remember, I think Triple Crown is going to be a pretty amazing thing. I'm so sad that I'm not going to be there, but there's just no way I can do it. Man, Mia and Jason, there's no way we could go out there, be in Kentucky, and then the very next week set up and do Aquashella. So yeah, a lot of cool events, I think. And now that I'm more aware of it, whether it's through hanging out with YouTubers or being on chats or just listening to what Corey, John and Lisa, Jason and Joanna, seeing what they're doing and where they're going. I mean, there's so much more that I'm aware of now than I ever was before. I mean, heck, the first Aquashella that I missed, because my first little heart episode, that one, I think a friend of mine had told me something about it. There's this fish convention. It's like Comic-Con. I was like, yeah, whatever. And I was going to go, but then, like I said, didn't go, and ended up going to the one in October right after that. So that was pretty cool. Interzoo looks fun. Different country every year. I swear a few years back it was in Asia. Also, it's a trade fair, so not really for buying and selling as customers from it. Yeah, that's the other side of it. When it's the trade show side of it, it's more it's not for individuals. It's for businesses. So is it bad to buy shrimp from 2 different people and put in one tank? I don't think it's necessarily bad, but just I'd be very cautious. I'd kind of like do more of a quarantine, and not because I say that anybody has bad shrimp, and not at all. I'm not saying that at all. I'm saying that because it's just like with anything else, whether it's plants, whether it's snails, whether it's fish, there's usually some type of quarantine process to make sure that you're not bringing anything unwanted into your tank. That's the only reason. You are a special kind of crazy, though, Jay. I know. Truth and facts are not allowed in this conversation, okay? Hi, EJ. I want to go to Triple Crown, but airfare is retardedly ridiculous. Yes, it is. Yes, go to Dallas. 4-hour drive, much better. Of course, I say that, and then gas prices are what they are, right? I mean, that's ridiculous. It's horrible. But I'm not even going to get on that box. Street trash. I've got midge fly larvae in the shrimp tank. Thinking about temporarily adding some little fish. Anyone got suggestions? I really like clown killifish. But I also use, and for whenever I have like a seed shrimp breakout or any of the other little critters that I really just, they're not bad, but I just don't want them in my tank, I'll use fry guppy fry guppy. Not fried guppy, but guppy fry, little baby guppies. And I'll use those and put them in the tank, and they eat everything up as they can. Your dumbass friend caught the shrimp, huh, Dee Dee? Oh, I'm glad you're there supervising. That's good to know. Yeah. There you go. Clown killies are amazing. Yes, I love them to death. And that's why I started keeping them and trying to breed them, was because of, to me, they seem like the perfect fish to go in a shrimp tank. Especially because they're not down below pecking at everything like a guppy. They stay up at the top, and the only time they really go down is when they're doing the happy dance between the male and the female. But if you have a lot of floating plants, which are great for clown killifish breeding, a lot of little shrimplets are going to be up there, and they're probably going to get taken out. Probably. I'm just saying, because they take out the little baby brothers that end up swimming around. Trust me, I know. I did a whole video series on it. We just drove from Dallas to Daytona and flew hubby home a week later so I could keep the car. Gas prices can go to Brandon. Chili rasboras and CBDs are generally too small to eat shrimplets. Generally. I have some CPDs that I probably wouldn't put in a shrimp tank. And to be honest, I was going to put my blue dreams with the clown killifish, but I decided not to, and I put them, the blue dreams, in their own tank separately, just because I don't want any mishaps with the babies. I think it's around $2.5 to $3 a liter. Yeah, it's $5 a gallon, whatever that is in pounds. And what's a gallon? Like a liter and 3/4 or something like that. I don't know. I used to have a chart. I used to have all kinds of cheater charts to help me figure out these things. I have one for liquids. It's really cool. I don't know where I got it. I ordered something fishy, some fish product, or I don't know what it was, but it came with a little card that had all of the conversions for fluid ounces, and then also from US to metric. It was pretty cool. I have it somewhere packed away in storage. To be honest, clown killie, CPDs, etc. I call glasses fish. Everyone needs glasses or a magnifying glass to see them. you definitely need a magnifying glass to see the babies on a clown killifish breeding tank. I mean, once I started seeing them and I knew what to start looking for, then it made it so much easier. But if I hadn't gone through that process of actually seeing them when they're itty bitty 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 tiny, just hatched, then I probably would have, like I tell Jess, because Jess always asks me from the morning show. She always asks me, how will I know if they're breeding? And I was like, you probably won't know until you see babies that are probably 2 weeks old. Maybe little less, maybe a week old. But once they start getting their stripes and colors, maybe you'll start seeing them. But it takes realizing that there are babies in there in the first place, and then to be able to spot the little tiny ones that are just fresh hatched, because they hatch daily. So it takes a couple of days. You'll see a little one that's just getting his colors, and you go, ooh, I have a baby. Well, you probably have about 6 more too, or 6 more as well. Let's see, 3 liters, a liter per gallon. He goes, $11.36 a gallon. Holy crap. That's crazy. Yeah, we got some good folk up in here. Street trash. Everybody helps everybody out. It's a cool deal. It's a cool deal. So, I know we've been running a little bit long over the past couple of weeks, and I've really had a blast so far tonight. Y'all have been great with the questions. Thank you for all the engagement. Hopefully everybody hit thumbs up and stuff. But it's getting to the hour mark, and Dee Dee, make sure you tell your friend that we're all praying that everything works out okay. I'm glad you're there to keep an eye on your friend so she don't make those mistakes anymore. But anyways, thank you very much for hanging out. Thank you to the mods. Thank you for everybody. Like I said, go to jadwinaquatics.com. We're getting everything all up listed on the site. We got snowballs, sun-kissed orange, fire reds, ultra golds, blue jellies, carbon rillies, orange rillies, red rillies, blue dreams. Those are the neos that we have. And we also have his cull shrimp that he's been selling. And I think oranges also. But anyways, the Caradinas are on there, Shadow Pandas, PRLs, PBLs, Blue Bolts, orange-eyed blue tigers, and orange-eyed royal tigers. Those are on the website for jadwinaquatics.com. Those are all Papa Shrimp. So go check it out. Thank you, everybody. I appreciate it. We'll see you again next time. Thanks for keeping it shrimple with me, and peace. Much love, everybody. Much love.